Okay. Go ahead and head back to Labriynthos. Right? Labriynthos, yes. Head back over there and continue on with MSQ. Okay, now where... I don't think it was daytime last time we were doing this. It's all nighttime and stuff. Okay, so I believe there is an aether current right here? Right here. And then I could probably just walk off the edge, to be honest. Okay, actually I can just teleport over here first. I'll just try walking off the edge to get to there. And then we'll see. We'll see where we go from there. There's some striking dummies here. It's kind of an odd place to put them. I make sure I'm not in combat when I walk off the edge. Okay, so it's supposed to be down here, I think. Nope, nope, that's not it. That's a frog. Lily pad? Yeah, lily pad, that's what it is. Okay, so is it on the edge? Or is it actually in the water? Can I even walk off the edge? No, of course not. That would be too easy. Okay, let's just head through the mine then. I guess it would be a little too easy if you could just walk off the edge. Actually, that wouldn't be very good because then somebody could accidentally walk off the edge before they get through the story. So yeah, that makes sense why they wouldn't allow you to do that. Plus, it's a pretty far drop. How many more do we actually need in this place? I think we still got to do all the quest ones. I think we maybe only did one. Yeah, we haven't done any of the quests. There's 5 quests. Looks like they added a lot more aether currents and a couple more aether current quests to the Endwalker zones compared to previous zones. I mean, I don't mind. I've done WoW flying grinds. I don't mind doing this. Oh right, back on the second level. Let's go ahead and try and get this aether current. I might need to go up on this cliff, or I might need to go into the water. I'm gonna try the water first. No, I should try the cliff first because it's easier to get down than it is to go up. Like how bright and white this place is. All the like marble like structures. Okay, let's see if it's on top of here or if it's in the water. Assuming that there even is one over here. Yeah, east. There it is. I figured it was actually down here. Okay, that's one more. Now, let's see, where's the nearest one? West. Okay, that's going to be a bit far out. That one is on the other side of the bridge. Like over here by Numa. We'll get there eventually. First, we gotta go talk to the gang and continue on. Forgot, Kryl actually seemed to not be doing too hot. Hopefully she'll be okay. Forgive me, my attention has been elsewhere. We were following Ernville, weren't we? Did you see the way that Ernville went? Which way Ernville went? It feels so wrong to spy on Ernville, helpful as he's been, but what other choice do we have? The full report, warts and all. Alizé is not about to let Ernville out of her sight. Ernville has headed westwards along the path outside the Archeon. Come, we can still catch him. Well, let's head on over there. I believe we were going to go and try and eavesdrop on a member of the forum to see if we can try and figure out what the heck is going on here. To me, it sounds like they're going to migrate. They're going to try and leave old Charlian or something. Or they're preparing for the end of the world. I can still hear it. We've fallen too far behind, and this damned mist won't help matters. It seems Y'shtola wishes to have a word with us. Hold a moment. I have an idea. If memory serves, that colossal wall-like structure is the Logisticon Beta, one of the Labriynthos climate control centers. It should have its own lifts with which one could access the upper or lower tiers. If I were an agent of the forum, it would make for a convenient meeting place. But even if we happen to find Erenville in the company of said agent, we cannot expect them to reveal issues of importance as we nonchalantly stroll past. Nay, we shall have to remain undetected. Too bad Thancred's not here. If only Graha and his vanish spell were here. Or Thancred. Oh, but there are other ways of turning invisible. Uh-oh. Hippity hoppity, my little... I see she is definitely Master Matoya's student. Goodness! I don't think Alize is gonna like this. Unaccustomed to transfiguration? Worry not, it will wear off with the passage of time. I suggest you and your green companions hop along and catch up with Erenville. Should you feel the magic fading, return to me and I will refresh the enchantment. What am I to do in the meantime? Wait here with me. In your current state of mind, you'd be as likely to leap into the jaws of a predator as you would learn anything of note. Which reminds me, where are the creatures hereabouts? In that form, you are essentially defenseless. You have changed into a toad. You must remain transfigured in order to progress with the quest objectives. You will return from your transfigured status if you move too far away. Look to your map for the transfiguration's area of effect. Speak to Y'shtola to restore or prolong the transfiguration. Girl. Ribbit. Alpha Toad and Alpha Toad and Alitoad are now accompanying you. Keep them at your side in order to proceed with the quest objectives. You can leave them behind. Yeah. They really wanted to advertise this feature, didn't they? I would have enjoyed being a toad for a little while, if only for the change of pace. But Y'shtola's right. I am too preoccupied with other matters. An Alpha Toad. Okay, so I believe the Aether Current's down here. Obviously can't use it now. And I probably shouldn't run by the big pellet. The bio pellet. That looks like our objective. I don't know why they bother putting the big circle if they're just going to tell us where the thing is. Alpha Node and Alitoad. Ribbit. Alitoad turns to face the north. Perhaps she's suggesting you cross the bridge. Ribbit. Alpha Toad attempts to and fails to shake his head, but you nevertheless understand what he is telling you. This is the wrong way. Okay, so it wants me to do the one to the north. I can't get over Alpha Toad and Alitoad. It's such a little goofy gag. I don't think we want to be lunch for the luncheon toadin. Luncheon toadin? Luncheon toad. So let's stay clear of him. Let's see, did I even need to run all the way around? Probably did. Yeah, there we go. This is where we needed to go. Oh, there they are.
I trust you will find your compensation to be more than satisfactory. We wish to make clear that we are pleased with the efficiency and thoroughness of your work. So much so that we have come bearing new tasks in need of your competent hand.
Another lengthy list. If I may speak frankly, the Gleaners have been pushed to the point of collapse by your unending demands. We are not familiars to be exploited. We are Sharlayan scholars, and we deserve an explanation for this unseemly treatment. What warrants such urgency?
Well, that's convenient. That's what we want to know.
In an age long past, Sharlayan was charged with a momentous duty. And now that word of the final days hangs heavy in the air, the time has come for us to fulfill that charge. I can say no more, but I promise you this. All will be revealed in due course. And when it has, you will understand that your toil was in service to the greatest good.
Just trust us, bro. We got this.
Then I will do your bidding. For now. But unless you wish the Gleaners to rise up in protest, I advise you to offer tangible improvements for our working conditions. Your promised revelation does nothing to address present circumstances.
A fair point. Your concerns will be conveyed to the Forum.
Yeah, sure. I'll totally pass it on. Stupid peasant. Would you guys really be staring at him? I mean, he's gonna notice that those are weird toads. Right?
I hope that was informative. You may consider my debt to you repaid in full.
Like, he's gonna notice that animals are acting
While I do
weird.
have my reservations about the Forum, I want to believe that they have our best interests at heart. Which is why I'm reassured that you're busy sniffing out the truth of things. We can ill afford to place all our eggs in one basket, this master plan of theirs, without first understanding the risks involved.
We just really...
Wait! How did you know it was us?
You're some pretty weird looking toads.
If you mean to impersonate a toad, try studying the real thing. And don't try to fool an expert.
That's what I was thinking. Like, it's literally his job to study these animals and capture them. He's gonna know a weird toad. 3 toads just sitting together like that. Our toad performance needs work, apparently. I'll have to pay more attention the next time I see one. I suppose we should have known a cleaner who specializes in animals procurement would not be so easily deceived. Yet he seemed inclined to put his trust in us all the same. More importantly, perhaps we've discovered a new piece of the puzzle. This monumentous duty the Forum agents were mentioned. Sharlayan has been called to action, and the Telephoros Declaration was the catalyst. Whatever charge it is they hope to fulfill, they deem it of significant importance to disrupt all of Labriynthos, not to mention ignore Eorzea's request for aid. If we happen to cross paths with Erenvald again, I should like to thank him properly. A guide of sorts. Alisaie is staring off in the direction Erenvald departed, a thoughtful look on her face. What duty could warrant the direct involvement of the Forum and the commitment of all its resources? Judging by what we just heard, none of the Gleaners were offered any kind of explanation. At this point, it seems abundantly clear that we'll learn nothing new by pressing them further. We should head back to Y'shtola and Kryl for the moment, see what they think of this. Agreed. We need to reconvene and talk about what we've discovered. Let's see, southwest is this way. Really? Yeah, so there's one, like, right down here. Right? Should be one, like, right here. Up there. Yeah, there is one right here. I'm glad I didn't fall down. And then there's one over on the area where Y'shtola and them are. Like, down here at Numa. At least they're supposed to be. See, southeast. That sounds right. Yeah, let's head back across this bridge. Okay, there should be one over by this building. Yeah, southeast. Stupid fly is still flying and buzzing around in my face. See, it's probably on the other side of this building. Yep, there it is. And then that takes care of all the ones on this level. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more on the lower level. And I suspect there's a good chance we're not actually going to get down to that lower level for now. Okay, guys. Here's what we learned. Where's Kryl? Where's Kryl? It's funny how normal the forest seems now. As a toad, it was all so much more ominous and threatening. Welcome back. I trust you found Erenvald then? Yeah, he was actually pretty helpful. Interesting. I had a feeling you would learn something important, even if that something was simply a confirmation that no one knows as much of anything. We should share this information with Kryl, then discuss how we'd like to proceed. Assuming we find her back at the farm, she was still behaving oddly, so I made her return and rest there. Perhaps not the best decision in hindsight. Would you mind checking near those flowers she was entranced by? The rest of us can survey the more distant areas, just in case she decided to wander. Hey, Y'shtola, why did you let her out of your sight? Wait, I'm sorry. That's not how I meant that. Okay, the Lost Troll, I believe, is an Aetheryte quest. Yes, it is, so we'll go ahead and do that while we're here. First I want to try and find Kryl. Want to see what's happening with her. I'm gonna go try buy the flowers first. Stray tomato. Stray onion. They just have these sentient vegetables. There she is. Kryl, what's up with the flowers?
for you. The spell will keep it from wilting.
Okay, why are these flowers important?
She said you would need it for the journey ahead.
Ah, okay. It's Heidelin,
Will you
right?
speak with her now? I cannot hope to match Minfilia's clarity, of course, but...
Oh, go, okay.
Thank you. Do not worry. She has lent me her body for only a moment. Just as I could not save the first from the flood of light, it has become arduous for me to interact with the physical world without assistance. Though I might converse with you for a time, the incorporeal form I assumed on the ship would be incapable of casting even the simplest enchantment. It is in the depths of the ethereal sea, the place to which all life returns, where my influence is greatest. After Minfilia's sacrifice on the first, it was to the sea, here in the source, where I ferried her soul. I wished that gentle spirit to find rest in the world she loved so well. Her, and another who may yet have a part to play, though that will depend on you.
Who's the other?
Take the flower. Walk free.
Walk
for
free.
You are free to go where you wish, to believe what you will.
Is that your answer?
That bloom will be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. In darkness, seek joy. Surrender not to sadness, and see beyond despair. Walk free, and bear the light for others to follow. Together, raise it aloft and let it shine, till the end, blinding and radiant.
That was all too brief. Already she seems so far away. My apologies if I startled you. Ever since we began our descent into Labriynthos, I had sensed another's will, straining to reach out. Even with my particular talents, though, I was unable to make a connection at first, so weak and tenuous it was. Once I took hold of that wispy thread, imagine my surprise to discover it was Heidelin herself. Needless to say, it seemed wise to learn what we could before letting go. Her answers were more cryptic than I would have liked, but at least she left us with a guide of sorts, that unusual flower.
True. Plus, Volos feels it looks nice.
Yes, we are definitely making progress. You can't be serious! We've done nothing wrong!
Are you sure about that, Alize? Oh. Hello, Daddy.
Master Fortuno, what business has the Forum with us?
Obstruction and suppression, apparently.
Mistress Baldessian, our records show you facilitated the Scions' entrance into Sharlayan by claiming them as assistants for your organization.
No, we are assistants of their organization.
We are aware of your investigations. After alerting the major institutions to the presence of potential troublemakers, we received word from an Archean custodian. A group operating under the auspices of the students, skulking about Labriynthos and engaging in clandestine behavior.
Clandestine.
Clandestine? We may not have entered Sharlayan as scions, but we did naught to conceal our identities. Our only purpose in this city is to seek the truth. I can think of no reason why our actions should warrant the Forum's intervention.
'Tis not our way to discourage the pursuit of knowledge, but the timing of such pursuits must be considered, not to mention their potential impact.
This voice.
With the world in chaos, we, the true caretakers of wisdom, have committed ourselves to an undertaking that demands the utmost discretion.
Oh, please tell me more about this.
And we will not risk its success by turning a blind eye to disruptive foreign elements in our midst.
What then is to be our fate? Will you put us on a ship back to Eorzea?
The Forum will convene to examine your case. The results of said inquiry will determine your future in this city. As for your absent companion, he has already been detained.
Graha! But why? Is reading a crime now, too?
Reading is encouraged, celebrated even. Not, however, of the volumes shelved in the restricted section of the library.
Ah, he got caught.
Refusing to comply will only make matters worse. Let us instead treat this as an opportunity to open a dialogue with the Forum.
Silence is often one's best defense. I would advise against prolonging the proceedings with frivolous discourse. But enough. This is not the place for debate. The rostra await.
This is gonna be interesting. Well, it looks like Daddy isn't too happy.
Forgive me. I was careless.
We would have been detained regardless. This way, at least, we managed to stay together. I trust your time within the Forbidden Archives was well spent.
A smile.
The Forum will come to order! This inquiry is now in session. As Speaker-elect, I will be presiding over the day's proceedings. Master Fortuner, would you be so kind as to restate the matter which compelled you to summon your colleagues with such urgency?
As you are all aware, we recently denied Eorzea's request for Sharlayan assistance. Since then, certain individuals dissatisfied with our decision have taken it upon themselves to interfere with our work.
Actually, we aren't doing that.
They entered our nation masquerading as associates of the students of Baldesion.
Also, that's not a lie.
These malcontents are better known as the Scions of the Seventh Dawn.
I just noticed Krau's hood's down.
These militants wield influence with both the Eorzean and Eastern alliances. and are inextricably involved with the crises presently afflicting the world at large. Loose in our city, these warmongers sought to meddle with and expose matters of state secret. What are they, if not a dire threat to be expelled?
You have tarnished the good name of the students. Galuf would be ashamed.
Galuf Baldessian was never one to forsake his fellow man. Even if this nation closed every door and retreated from the world, he would have found a way to help the Scions, help every soul of this star fight back against the coming doom.
You're still to go free, you're still to go
A
home.
terrible enemy stands poised to lay waste to all we hold dear. In the face of such madness, Eorzea reached out to Sharlayan, a respected ally, in the hopes of forming a united front. Was your curt dismissal truly the best you could offer? Or are you so preoccupied with your momentous duty of an age long past that even the end of the world is unworthy of your attention?
Whence came this revelation?
From the mouth of a forum member within fortuitous earshot.
Then it seems your findings support my own.
Oops.
The reason I visited the restricted shelves was to study records of the Forum's policymaking process, to better understand the historical trends underlying their most major decisions. At first glance, the positions of neutrality in war and the accumulation of knowledge above all else appear constant and consistent, the unchanging pillars of Sharlayan society.
Yeah, we
And
established
once upon a
that.
time, I might have left it at that. These days, however, I am more attuned to the subtleties of governance, and so I noticed something odd.
I mean, having governed like Astarium for years. Essentially.
From a particular point in time, the purpose of these policies shifted. No longer was knowledge preserved for the benefit of society. Rather, society was to be gradually reshaped to ensure the preservation of knowledge.
Ooh, that's interesting.
The most conspicuous and telling change was the one which befell Labriynthos. Once little more than an oversized storehouse, an enormous allocation of funds saw it transformed into an advanced research and archival facility. I also discovered a fascinating account on the finances of our Dravanian colony. The
But they were
settlement
cut
attracted
off.
students from far and wide, and the connections and tuition fees thus acquired were funneled into further improvements for the archives. Now, there is no question that our nation's progress is tied to the acquisition of wisdom. Nevertheless, the vast resources diverted for this purpose borders on the obscene. But returning to the matter of when, our change in course appears to have been made some 270 years ago.
And what event was that?
The very same period when Sharlayan scholars in the hinterlands began a formal study of the ethereal sea.
There we go.
You found something, did you not? And whatever it was, gave rise to your oh-so-important duty.
Mind your tongue, Archon. If you had seen...
Oh, okay, they have a spell to not talk.
Yes. we are bound by a duty we cannot ignore. Knowing this, what would you have us do? Abandon our vital work and join you on the field of battle?
If you had told us this, then maybe we'd be a little less.
The way of the sword. We will fulfill our mission, not through strife and bloodshed, but survival. Come what may, we shall live on. We must.
Do as you must, then. But we Scions will fight until the heavens fall, until our last breath.
Such misguided zeal.
Father, Master Fortuno, I fail to understand the stance you have elected to take. But by the same token, I have yet to find a compelling argument to counter the challenge you put to us in Gridania. Still, in the midst of my uncertainty, I must trust in myself to do what is right, as others have chosen to trust in me. So I will continue, as I always have, weighing the consequences of my every action, and allowing my hope for the future to inform my decisions.
That's quite enough. Have you all forgotten the reason for this assembly?
Good point.
Skolok Monteshane. He's the head of the Studium and an old friend of my grandfather's.
Honestly, every discussion devolves into some interminable debate. Terrible habit. Let's return to the topic at hand, By their own admission, these Scions have resolved to fight alongside the Eorzean nations against the doom which swift approaches. But there exists no evidence of an attempt to incite our citizens to do the same.
We haven't done anything like that.
Furthermore, while our decision may well have been the correct one, we cannot simply bull our way through these disagreements without inviting doubts or objections. Put yourselves in their place. Who among you would leave a tome unopened if an elder forbid you read it with no reason given? Now, if we're to quell further discontent, then we must conclude this matter with a fair and even hand.
Order! We will have order! Master Monteshane raises some valid points. Keeping such concerns in mind, I propose we enforce the following measures.
Probably going to restrict access to Labriynthos and the Studium
Until
archives.
further notice, the students of Baldesion are to cease any and all activities within the domain of Sharlayan. You will also refrain from any further investigation into the Forum's decisions and duties. Failure to comply with these restrictions will result in the immediate expulsion of your Scion associates. Let us put this judgment to a vote. All in favor, raise your hand.
Well, less hands raised than I expected.
I count 51 for and 48 against. The proposal is passed.
Yeah, that actually is a lot more divided than I expected.
Students, Scions, you have heard the Forum's judgment. Pray abide by it, or face the consequences. Honored members, I thank you for your time. This inquiry is concluded.
Well, that was less than ideal. Thank the gods for Scholar I can't remember how they said this name. Shagany, sure. I absolutely loathe arguing in circles. My father may be right, that I am still groping in the dark for answers, but I needed him to know that I would never stop searching. I owed that much to Arnvald, and myself. You may encounter some raised eyebrows, but do continue to claim the students as your sponsor whensoever the need arises. I believe in the guiding principles of the Scions, and I know my grandfather would have as well. I apologize for the trouble I've caused you. I was pondering the significance of what I had just read as I left the restricted section, and knocked over the security mammoth on my way out. Graha, please. I promise to be more vigilant next time. Graha, you're mentally like 300 years old or something. Like you pay more attention. Well, at least we've been allowed to remain in the city. And our endless investigations have not been in vain. We now know that this mysterious duty of theirs began with whatever the Forum discovered in the Ethereal Sea. I don't know, Shiller, you're gonna head right back in there like you seem to really like to do? For the third time in this story? With our freedoms so sorely circulated, or curtailed, however, we will struggle to learn aught more of substance here in Sharlayan. Yeah, we got that. We shall have to think very carefully about how we are to proceed from here. Yeah, same thing. A state visitor. I suspect it's gonna be Mom. I mean, Emilience. A state visitor. Alize has a look of dissatisfaction, to literally no one's surprise. The overall picture has grown clearer, yes, but that's in spite of the Forum being so maddeningly vague about this duty of theirs. Why are they so reluctant to explain their actions in plain words? Survival, come what may, is Father's work, so vital that it takes precedence over his own family. Apanode, Alize, it is you! Gonna be Emilience, yep. When I heard you'd been dragged before the Forum, I came as swiftly as I could. I'm so very glad that they allowed you to stay. Mother! Emilience Levier, at your service. And you fine people must be the Scions of the Seven Dawn. How lovely it is to finally meet you. Literally everyone just mouth agape. Mother, please, we don't wish to make things difficult for you. If word reaches Father that you were here. Oh, bother that. Oh, she's not gonna let him say what he wants. Oh, bother that. Am I to be chastised for speaking to my own children? I am well aware that you and Master Fortunal are not on the best of terms at the moment, but I've been absolutely desperate to see my darlings again. You will come by the house, won't you? I have gifts waiting. The timing couldn't be better. As matters stand, we shan't be going anywhere until we discuss matters with Thancred's group and reconsider our options. Go visit your home. We will be back at the annex when you are ready to rejoin us. I'm not sure Brilliant, what do you think? Just go. Brilliant! The Brilliant Mason? What a splendid day that this has turned out to be. Champion of Eorzea, I insist you join us. Yeah? Ah, but we must be quick about it. Not for my own benefit, but should my husband return and find you enjoying our hospitality, the servants will be made to suffer the consequences. Brilliant, if you would be so kind as to escort my children to the estate. Well then. And then she's gone, and with her any opportunity to protest. Indeed, the matter is settled. Enjoy yourselves, you three. Okay. I guess we're gonna go have a tea party with the millions. I'm sure Alphinaud thinks nothing of it. He invited classmates all over all the time, but I wasn't the most... It was a different time for me, alright? Classmates. Oh, I'm sure Alphinaud inviting classmates over after he showed them his amazing art skills. I apologize. My mother is not one to be take no for an answer. Still, I'm glad, relieved even, to see her in such high spirits. What say you, Brilliant? Though it seems we shall have little enough time to enjoy it, will you accompany us to visit our home? On our visit home. Fine. If we're going, then let's get it over with. Be sure to stay in the entrance hall. No peeking into our private chambers, thank you very much. Alizé. I get it, but you need to calm down. Whatever not, your room was always perfectly neat and tidy. Alphinaud, you need to, think before you speak sometimes. She's gonna throw you off the edge. Everyone has things they'd rather keep to themselves, don't they? Cherished mementos you couldn't bring yourself to throw away. Childhood toys. She just doesn't want us to see her toys. I mean, God, never mind. The Levier estate is this way. Straight down the stairs. Come on. Man, they really wanted to use this feature. Well, yeah, let's head on down. Go have tea with the millions. Could this possibly be the best quest in the game? First, let's have a chat. As children, Alphinaud and I would often wait here for our father to come home from work. It must have been a day when his meetings ran long, because I remember growing restless and leaning out over the railing to watch the water rush by. Father, of course, arrived at that exact moment, came pounding down the path in panic, crying out my name. When Alizé and I were little, this bridge was as far as we were permitted to wander alone. I say alone, but my mother or servant was always there, somewhere nearby, keeping a watchful eye. And now look at us, traveling into different countries, different worlds even. Let's grab the other optional quest area. We used to come here all the time with grandfather. In summer, I would dip my hands and feet into the fountain and splash about. Not Alphinaud, though. Even back then, he wasn't very fond of playing in water. Well, he just isn't very buoyant. He'd make any excuse to avoid it. Which would explain how I came to swim like an auk, and he sink like a stone. Oh yes, this is where I first practiced magic on an actual person. Alize had fallen, you see, and scraped her knee quite badly. So I tried casting the simple restorative spell I had only just learned. How she smiled when the wound closed, the joy and relief. That was, I believe, the very moment I chose the healing arts as the main subject of my studies. Except he's a... Right. He's technically a scholar. Welcome back, children. Ah, here you are at last. Please, do come in.
Welcome home, my lady.
I mean, I already ran in here when I was exploring, but I mean, there was nothing in here. Since I hadn't met Emilians yet. I hadn't done this part yet. Just the, servants.
What? What are you gawping at?
Huslavir in all its grandeur, Scion headquarters must seem squalid indeed. Just admiring the craftsmanship.
I'll have you know I'm quite fond of the Rising Stones.
Yeah, she would. Because she doesn't, like, care about this.
Lord Fortuneau is not to hear of this visit.
This visit?
And I should also like the children to have their gifts, ere my husband makes his return.
As you wish, my lady.
I mean, someone's gonna tattle.
Master Alphino, Mistress Alice, if you would accompany me upstairs.
We shan't be long.
The twins have been sending letters home from time to time, recounting their latest adventures. I am sure they withhold certain details, of course, if only to keep me from worrying.
I don't doubt that.
Yet a mother worries all the same. In the early days especially, I tried to support them as best I could, sending the Scion's coin and other such
I'm
donations.
sure Tataru was happy.
Fortunately, they have found the strength to overcome adversity time and time again. Their words grow more confident with every letter, their depictions more vivid. The triumphs and defeats, the joys and sorrows. 'Tis clear that they have come to find value in every experience. But of those they treasure most, it would seem that meeting you might be the most impactful. Why, since that fateful day, I do believe there has not been a single missive in which you were not mentioned by name.
I mean, I expected that for Alize, but Alphino maybe a little less? But not much less.
'Tis plain they care for you, and I am glad they have such a steadfast companion watching over them. Under normal circumstances, I would offer you tea, but alas, these are anything but. In any event, why don't you keep me company whilst we await my children's return?
Certainly.
Perhaps you might regale me with a tale or two of your exploits.
Certainly, madam. Ooh, that's right. This is where they get the new
When
outfits.
you mentioned gifts, I wasn't sure what to expect. Mother,
At least she didn't get the matching outfits.
Oh, look how well it fits you. And the style is to your liking?
It's perfect. Exactly what I would have chosen. But please, tell me you had something different made for Alphino.
Yeah, because it's actually like they.
Naturally. You are hardly little children anymore.
Yeah, there's a little thing about them.
And while I shall miss dressing you in those
Yeah.
precious matching outfits, I must respect the individuals you have grown to become.
Yeah, she used to dress them in matching outfits. That's why they had the same outfits in ARR.
See for yourself.
Thank you for the splendid clothes, Mother. Stylish, comfortable, and eminently practical.
I am so glad you like them. They are, however, missing one final touch.
Are these gonna be a sage beams? Or something else? Yeah, okay. Is sage laser beam lasers.
Wait. Are these...
A sage's tools of the trade. They belonged to your father. Though he may as well be chained to his desk these days, as a student he was often called upon to venture into the field. He wielded those armaments, both to heal and to harm in no few battles. None so fierce as those you two have braved, perhaps, but battles nonetheless. Thus did I pull them out of storage, to show you that he was not always the man who stands in vehement opposition to you now. And also because it would be a terrible waste of ridiculously expensive House Leveilleur commissioned artistry.
Taru would be happy. She'd be happier if she could sell it, though.
I am told these devices are quite difficult to master, but someone of your extensive experience should soon have them darting about with grace and aplomb. May the wisdom in that crystal serve you well. And please, try to find common ground with your father, that you might come and go without need for this awful subterfuge.
We will, Mother. I promise.
My final gifts to you, before you run off, are an observation and a suggestion. Firstly, Fortuno has ever been a serious man, but it was only after you were born that he truly lost himself in his work. I may not know the Forum's inner workings, but I know your father's. The timing of that change in him holds some significance. Secondly, do not seek to best your father with words. Far better that you simply show him. Let him discover the merit of your actions, after they cannot be undone.
Just do it anyway.
Oh, Mother.
We shall take your wisdom to heart. Thank you again for these gifts, and farewell for now.
Safe travels, my children. Eat well, stay warm, and keep your friends close.
Well, that was fun. Let's head back to the Beldezian. Oh, first we gotta talk them out here. And that was that. Only the gods know when we'll be back again. Thank you for indulging Mother's request. I can see it meant a lot to her, and I, shall refrain from inquiring as to the content of your private conversation. Our visit was all too brief. For now, however, it will have to suffice, as will be these tokens of home that we carry with us. These gifts to help us remember who we are and whence we came. But enough sentimentality. Let us return to the annex and rejoin our companions. Yep, let's head on back. See, there's the crystal. We're at the shard. Wrap up this quest, and then I'll need to figure out how much more we're gonna do today. So I want to do more. Yeah, I said I was gonna keep on going until I got to a certain point, and we're not at that point yet. Graha, did you really have to get caught? As curious I am to learn of the truth of this duty, I wonder what else the Forum is hiding. A calamitous secret whose origin lies in the ethereal sea. Duplicity aside, however, I do not believe Master Fortunald means us ill. Even the harsh words he had for his children stemmed not from anger, I think, but desperation. For us to feel responsible for the schism of House Lavier would be pure hubris. After all, we were merely on the outskirts of what is essentially a family affair. And yet neither can be claimed the indifference of strangers. To hear their mother welcome them so warmly was a joy and a relief. If I intend to master the sage's armaments, that will mean learning to imbue them with the same aether that I poured into the moonstone and obsidian. It is difficult to grasp the essence of such an entity. For me, it will help to think of the Nautilus as allies in battle, simply a new form of energy, which went into manifesting my carbuncle companions. Don't think for a moment that I'm jealous of Alphinaud's new weapons. They're far more suited to him than me. We left Eorzea in matching outfits, but our styles, both fashion and fighting, have long since diverged. If anything, I'm proud of the differences between us. I mean, he's a healer, and she's a DPS. Enjoyed your time at the Lavier, I hope? I would ask how the twins fared, but their new outfits tell the tale. I hope we can help them to reconcile with their father, that they might return home one day when their heads held high. In the meantime, we edge ever closer to the secret the Forum strives to hide, and the flower bequeathed to you by Hydaelyn is sure to guide us going forward. I'm confident that once we've heard your report from Thavnair, we'll be well equipped to plot out our next move.